video. So I have been very fortunate to have this sent to me. So this is a company called Smartblood, and basically what they do is a food intolerance test that gets sent to your home. So what I'll do is I'm going to basically take a food intolerance test, and you send it away then for 3 days, and then it comes back and you get the results. So I'm going to do all of this for you, and it'll be interesting to see if I have any sort of food intolerances. I personally find that I struggle with bloating, and some foods make me feel sort of like crampy and stomach pains. So it'll be interesting to see whether I am actually do have any sort of intolerance. So thank you Smartblood for sending me this out. I do have a discount code which gets you £50 off. It will be in the link below, and you can use my discount code, which would be awesome. So upon opening, it does give you a QR code, so you can scan this with your phone, or you can just open up the box and all the instructions are in there. So I have downloaded a QR scanner onto my phone. So it comes up with that, open in browser. It takes you straight to the Smartblood website, where it's got a YouTube video of basically how to do it. So you can either follow that, or like I said, it does have all these instructions in the box anyway. Here we go. So we've got, upon opening, everyone gets like a small little note. So this just explains that I've got like a personal contact, so who will be in charge of my tests. So it says here that I've got Paul Harris. It also gives like a number in which if you encounter any sort of troubles, you can give that. Here is the small instruction booklet. This will do a step-by-step guide of what you actually need to do, but obviously we will go through this together. Here is a small like laboratory form. So apparently the first thing I need to do is to check section 1, my details, and then if any changes need doing, then I need to just write a note. So that's basically just got my name and my address and things like that. And then at the bottom, so this is the section that they want you to basically fill out. So it says here, if you can see that, it basically asks you, are you struggling, asks you what you're kind of struggling with. So for me, please tick any boxes that apply to you. So obviously I'm going to put irritable bowel. I don't really feel like I get that. I don't get migraines. Fatigue, yes, I would say that I feel like sometimes I do get fatigued. Joint pain, yes I do. Bloating, yes. Skin problems, not really. I wouldn't necessarily say weight gain either. But I'm going to tick irritable bowel, because when I mentioned about the pain, I think sometimes that might mean that. So I'm going to tick that one as well. But other than that, I wouldn't say that I have anything. So that's my form filled in. Unpack the barcoded foil pouch, which comes in the bag. And as you can see in the back, it's got all the little things that you need. So cute. They even give you you even get little plasters for afterwards. Okay, so we are now on step number 3. It says gently twist and remove the protective cap. So they give you 2 of these. Whoa, that's crazy. So they give you 2 of these, I think, just so if you want to do like a test run, then you can do. But I trust myself, so I'm fine. So it says to gently twist and remove the protective cap. So that's this. Then use an alcohol swab to clean your fingertip. So it gives you these. So I'm gonna do my left hand because I'm right-handed. So just in case it does, I bleed quite a bit afterwards. It's not a hand that I need to use as often. So middle finger. Okay, so change fingers. I'm going to wipe that down the middle finger, and then place the lancet, place firmly against a fleshy part. You will hear a click and your finger will be pricked. Okay. I'm scared. I'm scared of it hurting me. Okay, that's that done. Okay, so now, can you see now I've been pricked? So it says gently massage the finger, so I'm just kind of pushing like the blood flow to the end. As you can see now, it's starting to get a bit more blood. Massage the finger to encourage blood flow. Collect the blood with the absorbent wand until half red. Okay, sorry, you're probably wondering what I'm doing. I'm trying to get as much blood as I can. Then slide hold a long wand to collect blood on other side of wand. So you push, there's like a little thing and you just push that to the other side. So now I need to just keep massaging my finger to get some more blood out of it. We're getting there, we're getting there. Ugh, I hate blood. So as you can see now, there you go. So that's got blood on my blood on it. Place the wand and the holder back into the protective pouch. Put the little cap back on. And then place the wand and the holder in the protective case, then place back into the foil that it came in. And then basically I'm done. So I'm going to pop it back in there. And that's my blood sample, and that is it. So what we do then is I'm just going to wipe this down and put a plaster on. I don't know why I've got that. I swear that was Grange Hill. Was I just singing Grange Hill or Biker Grove? Why is that in my head? Rightio, so the next step is you get a biohazard bag, and basically you just put everything back in there that came with the box. So here's the instructions as to put literally just everything back in there. So saying my details, which I've given them, so that goes back in there. My blood sample, that goes back in there obviously. What else have we got? All these things, the lid for it goes back in. And that's it. So them three things go back in this box, and then this bag, this biohazard bag, then gets put into this bag which they send you. It goes back into this box here. I think you just slot it inside here. So slot the bag and the contents, everything inside there, and then they give you a prepaid bag, so you don't even have to pay for postage, which is handy. And then that goes back in there, and then seal it up, and we're done. And that is it. So that will go back in the post tomorrow, and then apparently within 3 working days I should have the results then sent back to me. So I will get back to you in 3 days' time. Okay, so we are now 3 days on. Obviously, last time I spoke to you, I did my blood test and I sent it off, and this is what I have received. So what you get is you get, within 3 days, you get this sent through the post, which is just basically all your details of your results, and then you also get an email, and in the email you get a PDF copy. And then you also get an email with your username and your password, so you can log on and actually see it on your account online as well. So there's 3 different ways in which you can see it. So mine was actually, I was really, really shocked actually at kind of my results. So I'll just show you. So here on the first page, it just gives you a breakdown of kind of how to read everything and how to kind of work it out. So basically, it tests you for over 350 different types of food and drink, and if you have flagged up that you have an intolerance to a certain type of food or drink, it scores you on a scale of 1 to 5. So if you score obviously a 0, it means you have no intolerance to that type of food or drink. If you score a 1, it says that you have a very, very small intolerance, but that it's not really big enough to need to do anything. You don't need to make a change when you score a 1 on something. So basically what you need to be looking out for is anywhere where you've scored either a 2 or on the scale of 2 to 5, basically. And on this scale, that's your reaction level. So if you score a 2, it means that you need to cut that food out of your diet for 2 months and then reintroduce it. If you score a 3, a 4 or a 5, it goes the same. So if it's a 5, you cut it out for 5 months, 3 months, 4 months, and then you reintroduce it. So the good thing is about having a food intolerance is that eventually you can eat that food again. It's not like a food allergy where you have to cut it out for the rest of your life because it could be fatal, or it could cause really bad illness. An intolerance is something where your body, for some reason, can't tolerate it having it. It can't maybe digest it well. But a good thing about knowing what your intolerances are is that you can cut them out and then slowly introduce. And then the best thing to do is to keep like a food diary. So when you slowly start to reintroduce, you can pinpoint certain foods that aren't kind of ready to be reintroduced yet. So I'll just go through what my results were. Like I said, you get a really kind of extensive overview of your results. It's absolutely brilliant. So again, that's kind of like one of the main pages, and it shows there just the colours. So obviously the blue ones are my 1s, the orange is 2s, and then I think it's like a red. Yeah, it's like a red colour, which is 3. So I only scored 1s, 2s and 3s, which is kind of good. So my 1s were things like baker's yeast and brewer's yeast. So I'll just show you now. So this is like others. So it comes in a scale like this, and it will show you. And then also it gives you a little notes box. So what happens as well is somebody will, if you've come up with intolerances, you will get an email or a phone call, like a follow-up, a couple of days after receiving all your paperwork. If you want to, you get a chance to speak with a registered dietitian and nutritionist, and they will go through all your results with you. They'll answer any questions you've got, and also they will then help you to make changes, to make sort of food or drink dietary swaps, and they will help you to reintroduce it in a healthy and safe way as well. So, and it's about half an hour long, so it's not long, and it was really helpful for me, especially because obviously with me, I'll show you in a second, but I came up with a lot of things in which I never thought I had, so I needed a bit of help to kind of know specifics of what that food meant. So a big one for me was grains and staples. So I came up with a 2. I don't know if you can see that. But I came up with a 2 on gluten. So basically, I have now had to cut out everything, anything that's wheat-based. So that was a question that I wanted to ask her, because as you can see here, it's got gluten as 2, but then it's got barley and things like that as 0. So I wanted to know, shall I just cut everything? Shall I just go basically gluten-free with everything? Or is it just a certain type of grain? So she said basically wheat, rye and barley are the 3 that I need to cut out, which is pretty much in quite a lot of things. So, but then what she also helped me with is things telling me what to eat. So obviously with gluten-free, she said stewed fruit with yogurt was good. Getting a good kind of like probiotic is really good. Because obviously when you have to kind of cut certain things out of your diet, sometimes you might need to supplement it with just a multivitamin or something just for the couple of months while you reintroduce things back in. So basically anything with yeast in, so I've had to basically go gluten-free on my cereal, on my bread, that was a big one. Things like wraps and stuff like that. I mean, it's quite easy these days. Warburton have now got a really good gluten-free range. Quite a lot of supermarkets have a good free-from range. I mean, the only thing is it is a little bit more expensive. You're talking like £1 or £2 more. But to be honest, I don't massively eat a lot of that sort of stuff anyway. So it's not a massive dietary change. I suppose the biggest thing is when you go out to eat, is looking at the menu then and making sure things are gluten-free. So I've got here dairy and eggs. So again, I only scored a 1 on whey and cow milk. So to be honest, I don't really have cow milk anyway. I drink unsweetened almond milk, so that's not a massive difference for me. And then whey, I only really have whey when it comes inside a protein bar. I used to drink a lot of protein shakes, but I don't anymore. And again, that only scored a 1, so she said there was not really much need to do much about that. So meat and fish, I've scored 0 on everything, which I was very shocked at because I honestly felt that I had something to do with chicken because I used to get quite a lot of stomach pains. But when I actually thought about it and went through my diet, I think what I was actually doing is just overdosing on too much protein. So my plate wasn't actually balanced. I was just having too much chicken on the plate compared to carbs and fats at the same time. So it was probably my body just struggling just to digest that amount of protein in one sitting. Again, this shocked me. Vegetables, I scored a 0 on everything. That's because I kind of felt like certain things I'd have, tomatoes, chickpea especially, and mushrooms, that I'd always have a bit of a stomach ache after. But she said, when I spoke to the nutritionist, she said, you know, it could be that it wasn't that food, could be what you were eating it with, which again made me think, okay, yeah, that's possibly why. I can't quite remember now what I had them meals with, but possibly, you know, that was obviously the reason. Herbs, spices and oils, everything was a 0 apart from peanut oil, which again, really crazy because I love peanut. I mean, I don't necessarily know whether I have peanut oil. It's not really an ingredient that I would notice, but I think it's one of them that's in actually quite a lot of things and people don't realise. So that obviously comes into place with the next one, which is nuts and seeds. So I scored a 3 on peanuts and a 2 on soybean. So obviously peanut, it's obviously come up in the nut allergy and the oil. So that's a big one for me. So obviously I'm gutted because I love peanut. I love peanut butter. I love anything with peanuts in. A lot of my protein bars all have peanut in. Snickers bars I absolutely love. So that's going to be a really quite hard one for me actually, because a peanut again is one of them things which is in a lot of things which you don't actually realise. I mean, I've just bought a big box of Cheerios peanut butter flavour, and you know, up to a couple of weeks ago I was eating them, and not gonna lie, I did feel weird after them, and almost to the point of the next day I'd wake up feeling and all, because I'd obviously have the cereal in the evening. I could still feel almost like a heaviness in my stomach, just discomfort, and so I can understand that now. But again, it's just frustrating because I really like peanut. But that's the good thing about having an intolerance and not an allergy. If I had an allergy to peanuts, that would be it. I'd never be able to eat them again. But good thing is that it's an intolerance. So 3 months, because it scores a 3, I'll have to cut it out for, and then I can reintroduce it. So fruit, again, scored nothing on fruit, but that's fine. I've never felt that I've had a problem when I eat fruit anyway. Drinks, scored 0 on all drinks, so that includes things like, you know, almond milk, black tea, cacao, green tea, chocolate, milkshake, coconut milk, white tea. Oh, sorry, no, I did. I scored a 2 on soya milk, if you can see there. And that was a big thing as well, because at home I just have unsweetened almond milk, but when I go to places like Starbucks or a coffee shop, I always have an Americano with soya milk, because they don't always have almond milk. And I did start to notice that I'd feel quite sick and just a little bit sometimes having stomach cramps. So I'm so grateful for this, because it's basically answering the questions which I've had for ages. And then last one is protein supplements. So I scored 1 on whey protein and then 2 on soy. So again, the soy is quite annoying, because soy is in so many things, even a lot of because I basically I try and live a vegan diet. I do have fish on occasion, but I try and mostly go vegan. But since I've had this, it's been really difficult to stay fully vegan because a lot of vegan products have soy in, so they substitute the meat for soy, and I obviously can't have that anymore. So what I've started to do is I've reintroduced eggs and fish, and I've been using that as my protein rather than things like corn, because I noticed that was giving me terrible stomach aches. A lot of protein bars which I'd have had soy in it, which was frustrating. And even a lot of things like, soups, a lot of sauces, they all have either soy or soy lecithin in. And now I know that I've got that intolerance to soy, it's massively opened my eyes as to it's literally in everything. It is in everything, and it's so difficult. So that actually has been the hardest one so far to stay away from, because with peanuts, that's only hard because I like peanuts, and sometimes I fancy something that is like peanut butter flavour or something, and I can't have it. I used to have a lot of the PB Fit, which is like a powdered peanut butter, and I'd mix it with some almond milk and put it on rice cakes, and I'd use that as a pre-workout quite a lot. So that's frustrating because I really like that. And also I bought a massive PB Fit tub about this big, which cost me about 18 quid on Amazon, and now I can't have it, so I'm going to have to wait a couple of months to have that, or 3 months, whatever it was. But the soy is the annoying one, because I actually have to make an effort to look at ingredients now, because it is, like I said, it's in everything. So it is really brilliant, and obviously on every single page it shows you your action needed, and then it's got a massive box in which you can speak to the dietitian and write all your notes down. And it's brilliant because, like I said, I wouldn't have known any of this if I hadn't taken the tests. So there's 2 different types of tests you can take. There's one which is $19.99. You get exactly the same Smartblood box sent to you with everything inside. But what you only get with the results, you only get told if anything's flagged up that you've got an intolerance to, but it doesn't tell you the specific food items or drink items. But it does tell you if you've been flagged up with an intolerance of anything. And so from that step, then you can either choose to upgrade and go to the higher plan, which they will then send you your results, or you can just leave it at that and potentially create a food diary, knowing that you have an intolerance to something, and just keep an eye on what you eat and how you feel it, and try and kind of like find it out yourself. The second one, which is the test that I took, that's £250, but you get absolutely everything. So you get, like I said, you get 3 different types of results sent to you. You get the half-an-hour phone call with the dietitian, and they're very good. They, if you need to speak to them again, they're more than happy to speak to you, and they won't charge you if you need kind of more time. I mean, I think I was on the phone with her for 45 minutes. But they're happy for you to call again and for her to call you back. They're really good like that. And like I said, she speaks, she talks you through it completely. So it's really, really easy, and it makes it easy to kind of stick to as well, so you don't feel like you're kind of like stabbing in the dark. I'll link everything down below as to the company website. You can also get, using Gina 50, that gives you £50 off the full package price of £250. So instead of paying £250, you get it for £200. Also, you're probably thinking, what happens if I don't have anything? If I come up with no intolerance and I've paid 200 quid, you get all your money back. I think you get 80% of your money back if you've come up and you flag that you've got no intolerance whatsoever. So that's good as well, that you pretty much get all of your money back if you've got no intolerances. So yeah, what I will do is I will also link my Instagram down below, because I did a post and I created a highlight story of a step-by-step guide of how to do the tests, and you can see as well up in close as to what my results actually were, because basically my camera died, so I'm having to use my laptop camera, which I don't think has been massively clear when I've been trying to show you my paperwork. But yeah, so I will link everything below. Remember, code GINA50 gives you £50 off. I mean, it's a brilliant, even if it's just a present. I know that my mum, for example, has been having trouble for quite a while now, and she's been really interested to know whether she has an intolerance. So it's one of them things which I think everyone should get done. Just so you know and you're aware, because no one should have to live in pain. You shouldn't have to live in fear of certain foods. Like I said, I was living in fear, thinking I was really badly had an intolerance to chickpeas, because I felt every time I had them, I was in loads of pain. But I'm not. I don't have an intolerance to them. And sometimes it can be in your mind, like you can work yourself up to thinking it's something that, and make your body believe something. Whereas stuff like this, it's like concrete kind of evidence that, you know, you are or you are not intolerant to that certain food. So, like I said, I will link everything down below. If you do have any questions, just give me a comment and I'll try my best to answer. If I can't, I'll kind of forward you on to some of the people at Smartblood. But like I said, thank you so much again to Smartblood for sending me this out. It was really interesting. I'm really glad that you know, it's been really useful for me, and I hope that it's kind of useful for you as well if you do choose to go with this test. But yeah, so anyway guys, stay tuned, and I'll hopefully be getting some more videos up in the future. If you do try it out and use my code, let me know, comment below, and like I said, any questions down below. Alright, see you later.